Niccolò Machiavelli, one of history's most enigmatic figures, was born on May 3, 1469, in Florence, Italy. Growing up in the heart of the Renaissance, Machiavelli was surrounded by a cultural revolution that celebrated art, science, and humanism. Yet his life was anything but idyllic. Marked by political upheaval, personal suffering, and intellectual brilliance, Machiavelli's story is a testament to the enduring complexities of power and ambition. Machiavelli was born into a modestly prosperous family, which afforded him a good education in the classics. He was particularly drawn to the works of Roman historians and philosophers, sowing the seeds for his later obsession with governance and statecraft. By the age of 29, he had secured a position in the Florentine government as a diplomat, providing him a front-row seat to the intricacies of political power. This period of Machiavelli's life was marked by both opportunity and peril. Florence was embroiled in a tug-of-war between Republican ideals and the dominant Medici family. Machiavelli, a staunch supporter of the Republic, was tasked with negotiating with foreign powers and observing the strategies of leaders like Cesare Borgia, whose cunning and ruthlessness would later inspire Machiavelli's most famous work, The Prince. Borgia's ruthless genius left a lasting impression, teaching Machiavelli that power wasn't about fairness or morality. It was about control. For Niccolò, these experiences weren't just lessons, they were revelations, shaping the sharp, unflinching vision of human nature he would later pen in his works. However, the stability of his position was as fragile as the political climate he operated within. When the Medici returned to power in 1512, Florence's republic crumbled. Machiavelli was dismissed, exiled from public office, and accused of conspiracy against the Medici. In 1513, Machiavelli faced one of the darkest moments of his life. Suspected of plotting against the Medici, he was imprisoned and subjected to the strappato, a form of torture where his arms were tied behind his back and he was hoisted into the air by a rope, dislocating his shoulders. Though Machiavelli survived, the experience left both physical and emotional scars. It was during this forced seclusion from politics that Machiavelli turned to writing. In exile at his family estate in San Andrea, he poured his frustrations, insights, and ambitions into his works. Here he composed The Prince, a practical guide on how rulers could acquire and maintain power. Far from an idealistic treatise, the book was a stark reflection of Machiavelli's observations. Power is often won through deception, fear, and pragmatism rather than virtue. The work begins with a dedication to Lorenzo de' Medici, signaling Machiavelli's hope to regain favor with Florence's ruling family. The prince posits that a successful ruler must be willing to act immorally if necessary. One of its most famous lines encapsulates this sentiment: "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Now, if you're finding this journey through Machiavelli's life compelling, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on whether The Prince still holds relevance today. Machiavelli didn't stop with The Prince. He also authored Discourses on Livy, a treatise that focused on the functioning of republics rather than monarchies. In this work, he praised the Roman Republic as a model for governance, emphasizing the importance of civic virtue, the balance of powers, and public participation. While The Prince seemed to advocate for authoritarian tactics, Discourses on Livy highlighted Machiavelli's nuanced understanding of political systems. Despite his brilliance, Machiavelli's works gained him infamy. His name became synonymous with cunning and deceit, giving rise to the term Machiavellian. Ironically, this misinterpretation overshadowed his genuine admiration for Republican ideals and his hope for a stable, unified Italy. In his later years, Machiavelli was allowed to return to Florence, but never regained his former political influence. He died in 1527, largely unrecognized for the profound impact his writings would eventually have. It was only posthumously that Machiavelli's works gained widespread recognition, influencing figures from Napoleon to modern political scientists. What fueled Machiavelli through exile, torture, and rejection? His inner spark was an unrelenting curiosity about human nature and the mechanics of power. He believed in understanding the world as it is, not as one wishes it to be, a mindset that allowed him to distill truths about leadership, ambition, and survival. Niccolò Machiavelli's life is a story of resilience and intellectual brilliance forged in the crucible of political turmoil. His writings challenge us to confront uncomfortable truths about power and morality, offering lessons that resonate even centuries later. What do you think of Machiavelli's view on power? Let us know in the comments, and if you've enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating figures.